The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome and thanks for joining us today on the Real
Real
Estate
Estate
House
Party.
Woo!
Woo! It's a party.
You know,
It's a
not
party.
only is this the number one real estate podcast in all of the
world,
studio.
probably.
It's actually my number two, but don't.
Oh, God.
Can't
Hey,
be number two
hey.
if we're the only one.
We're sitting right here, Chrissy.
We have the
You're still the
snappiest.
talent, baby. You're
We
still
have the
talent.
snappiest opening music.
We certainly do.
Right. And
great.
someday they're going to be taping us and we're going to be up
Yeah, we're
dancing.
dancing. Sure.
And
why
we got
not?
tens of people listening to us. I
That's
know.
how you start.
I know.
Tens of people.
It's a groundswell.
We have a couple people in the audience.
Yeah,
today.
John's not looking,
One's not
and
looking.
Murph-
The other one's
Jim
sleeping.
Murphy's sleeping.
Yeah. John's on his computer and the Doug's going, not again.
He's working.
Yeah.
Thank you to you two for helping us out in the Bowport. We
That
had
was a
nice
home run.
Oh, that was
Richard
great.
Empire.
Yeah,
Had a
that was
good
a
time.
nice job, Rick.
We
Yeah,
said we might bring Tony V out to do a little education.
Yeah.
Because we lost Kathy Holtshouser and Renee Carter for a little while.
Yeah, they went drinking.
Yeah.
Listen, don't be airing all our dirty secrets, but we've already seen that Dog and Pony show.
Hey, we
several
had a lot
times.
of new stuff this time. Do you
But
know?
let me start by saying the Boatport, I've never been there in Gloucester, Massachusetts, is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Oh, my
Very nice.
God.
Very
And if
nice.
you have to sit there and listen to Rick Carter talk for 2 hours to get your credits, your
Yeah.
continuing ed credits
It
for the
better
real
be a
estate,
nice venue.
It's got to
they
be.
don't have to listen. They can just stare out at
Yes.
the beautiful ocean.
Well, that's where my daughter got married in December.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
And they gave me a word count. They didn't, they thought I might have been a little bit too talkative for the father-daughter.
So you know how
speech.
many he got?
Oh, yeah.
So they gave me like 5 words.
0.
So what I was going to do that day, I wasn't sure if people thought it was funny. I was going to say the father-daughter speech.
Yeah.
I'll just do it now because that was literally
Oh,
in the same place.
Yeah,
that
and
we-
it was your venue.
It was
Yeah, it was your
exactly-
And he
venue.
didn't get to
Exactly.
talk, so we have to do a do-over in December 4th, right?
Oh, we're going to have, yeah.
Another
Another wedding.
Another
Bizarro wedding on
No,
how.
just reception.
Oh, just a reception.
Yeah, we
No,
don't-
the whole wedding. All the plans that they
Wait a
didn't allow
minute.
me to do.
I see.
Jay Giles is going to be there as a band.
Nice.
Yeah. You're going to be.
I'll MC it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wait
Now
about.
they're not calling it an MC. You're
No.
going to be giving the bride. And,
Oh, I'll
you're
be giving
gonna-
it.
Yeah, you'll do all that stuff.
Hey,
Is
Rick,
that all right?
should we tell them the big secret about the guitar?
Oh, I'm going to play the guitar.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kathy was so nervous. I got my daughter and now son-in-law.
Yeah.
A guitar. She was horrified.
Autographed guitar, but I didn't know what was in the box, but it went like this and like that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I go, what is this? And he's like, my guitar. I go, oh my God, no.
She was worried. She thought I was going to come out and play the guitar.
Oh, yeah,
For the audience.
But it was an autographed guitar by?
Peter Wolf and all of Jay
Oh,
Giles.
my God.
I
What
know,
a great
I know.
gift.
We thought it was a great idea because
Yeah.
Jay Giles kind of brought the Flynns and Carters together. Michael Flynn's father was a great.
Loved Jay
Loved Jay.
Giles.
Yeah, when they say they broke the mold when Mr. Flynn passed away,
Yeah.
they mean it. So anyway, he loved Jay Giles, and I thought that would be a nice touch to kind of bring everyone together.
Oh, that's nice.
But, yeah, exactly. I didn't know. I shouldn't have done it right before everyone was to walk out there all crying and sobbing.
Yeah, so it had such an impact.
Probably shouldn't have done that,
That's called.
I don't know why they left it at the venue.
That's the opposite cause and effect.
I don't know why they didn't want me to talk that night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's the reason.
That's one of the many reasons
Yeah.
there. So,
But yeah, beautiful place. You look over the ocean, and
Yeah.
the event was a lot of fun. Nice people.
it was good.
Yeah.
It
And
was good.
and shout out to the Beauport staff, the wait staff.
Mario?
And
Great.
Mario is a great manager. I dealt with him.
And you gave out fudge.
Gave up fudge.
It was. How do you?
How you go wrong with
I
that?
had no idea that the fudge was that popular. I said, Rick, ixnay the
She
fudge.
told me not to do the fudge.
No, what
You
a
got-
nice little thing. You
gotta
had
do
a
the
little
fudge.
treat.
All right.
You got to do that. Right.
I don't know
Our whole
why-
studio audience is saying thumbs up to
Oh,
the fudge.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
So-
like fudge?
So the point of the fudge, though, What's the point of the fudge?
There's really no point other than a little giveaway. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, there's not.
But he
that's
called.
not like our
he
symbol. Or,
specifically reached out and asked me what I thought, and
About
I
the
know.
fudge?
I said no,
she said no.
and then he did it anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he wasted those words.
I got to give a shout out to Winfrey's too.
Yeah.
I literally called him that day.
Was that the fudge
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
I don't know if they go by the fudge.
Oh, could I have 1,000 boxes of fudge?
I don't know if that's on their calling card.
Well, she wants to put that on our calling card, the fudge attorneys or
Yeah.
something. I know. We're not supposed
I
to.
mean, you could say fudge packers. But
Yeah.
that-
Hey,
I had to. I saw it in your eyes, Tony.
I was wondering who was going to bring that up.
No,
I wasn't going
You're
to say
welcome.
that.
I let it go.
But the other bad connotation is attorneys aren't supposed to be known for fudging things, right? So,
Right.
But hey, it's just
Oh, I never thought of
Oh,
it that
that'd
way.
be a nice little catchphrase. We won't fudge your paperwork.
You're right, right. I'm like,
Or we
yeah.
will fudge it.
We will fudge your paperwork.
Don't you worry about a thing.
And you got your big event coming up. You ready for it?
What's that?
That's the day you, me, and Billy Burr are going to be at Fenway Park.
All right.
I keep getting dumped.
What?
I keep
no,
getting
no,
dumped.
we'll get you there.
Does me mean us?
Yeah,
Well, there's
August,
only one of
uh,
us can announce the two of them.
August 21st.
He says I'm in the running.
Yeah. Short
Right.
list.
Short list.
You know what? You know
How
what,
many people
Tony?
have already asked you?
Yeah,
You know what, Tony? Me and you are gonna have a huge problem.
Yeah.
If he, because
let him.
I do have to tell you a
No,
story.
he's going to play the guitar before he brings me out.
No, I have one little diversion to our, and then we'll start our show.
Okay.
oh, we're doing a show.
Yeah. Well, we're just catching up right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other in a week. So one day, Rick says, "Can you cover my closing today?" It was in Manchester, New Hampshire, and I said, "Sure." So I go to the closing. I do the closing. More work than I usually have to do.
Yeah.
In addition to all the other work I had to do. He sends me a picture with Norm from Cheers.
Oh, that's
on the golf
I thought you were
course.
going to tell the Fenway Park one. All right, can I tell you a story?
No, you.
Wait, you were golfing with George Wendt?
Yes.
No, it was an illusion of it. I happened to jump in the golf cart with him. It looked like we're driving around together all day. But
And he had the biggest grin. I
Sure.
call it a
Yeah.
eating grin.
Yeah.
A fudge eating grin.
Sure.
all right.
And I was so mad.
I don't know. Get it. You got to get over some of these things. Let me tell
All
you.
right, thanks, Rick. I'm going to ruin your story.
Let me tell you.
It was a nice story.
It was a
Thank
nice
you,
story.
thank you.
Let me tell you my Fenway Park story real
Yeah,
quick,
go
and then
ahead.
we got a lot of real estate to go to. So one time, a buddy of mine was telling me how he owns a security company, and does all of these rock and roll concerts.
Right.
And I kiddingly said, "When are you going to get me a job there?" Calls me a week or two later, says, "All right, you're in. The Rolling Stones are coming to Fenway Park.
Wow.
You're going to be the security guard."
I was a security guard, too.
Oh yeah.
Say
that's-
we.
Oh yeah. You were not.
Yes, sir. I still have my
Let's
shirt
get the
that
story.
says
We're
security.
into this for 10 minutes, and we haven't said one real estate.
Oh, no, I wasn't a security
So very
guard.
quickly, so he gave me 3 rules. One is you don't get paid. Fine. You got to do both nights. Fine. 3, no going out in Fenway Park while
Right.
they're practicing.
And or videotaping or taping.
Yeah. Don't harass
Did
them.
well with the first 2.
Yeah.
But then I heard him warming up.
Sure.
I said, "What's the worst? What, are they going to fire me?" So I rolled out there, and it was just me and all of Fenway Park
And the
the
Rolling
Rolling
Stones.
Stones playing Memory Hotel.
Oh,
one of my
nice.
favorites.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
all time.
great
So
time.
that's it. So 8.
What about the girl that came up to you,
Oh yeah.
like a past client?
Yeah. She
came
goes,
up.
"Oh, is this your job now? Is
No, is this your second
this
job?
your second job? Real estate's going so well."
It was only 2001, so no, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
going
yeah,
well.
Exactly.
None of you-
Exactly.
That's,
So we got to do a part 2 to last week's show.
I'm already exhausted.
I know. Well, we could keep telling stories because that seems like what all our stories about. Seems like all the stories we're talking about at our seminar were war stories that everyone wanted to talk about.
And that was a popular theme.
and
It was
they
a-
had them. I mean,
Oh,
there were
yeah.
some good ones.
And then our next seminar that
Yeah.
we have at the Beauport,
Yeah.
we're gonna do the question and answer type of thing, like,
Yeah, you're gonna be there.
and you're gonna be helping us out because you could probably answer the questions as well as.
Oh, sure.
You know more.
I know a
You're-
lot
you're
of
an
things.
expert.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you have this osmosis thing going on.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
last 10 years you've been hanging around
Yeah,
with us.
it sort of gets in there by default.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
we're going to do like a panel, right? Of,
Yeah,
Right,
we should
right.
do this.
And then, like, if Tony
like
gets
it.
the answer correctly, we can go ding, 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 ding. Like, it's almost going to be like a game show. Yeah.
So we put together about 50 of what could possibly go wrong, and then I challenged them. I said, listen, why don't you guys come up with some that you've had issues with? And they were doing it.
They all had them.
One was the snakes. Were you
Snakes.
there for that one?
Yeah. How do you not notice
I know.
a hibernaculum in your
No, they don't. I have another.
Oh.
I know another house that's
snake
in,
snake field?
infested.
No, that's a point, though. I mean, it sounds like there's snakes all over the
They made it sound like thousands.
Right,
Like, you know,
right.
it was like
How would you not know?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
One time, a friend of mine was showing me her house, and it was in Burlington or Woburn, and went down in the basement. She goes, "Watch out for the snakes." I go, "Watch out for the what?" And I'm not kidding you. There was a bunch of them.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
And she just lived with them like that?
I guess so. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know how long she
their own.
stayed.
Don't they have a snake termination people? or
Yeah.
something?
Exterminator.
Snake
Yeah, yeah.
exterminator.
Yeah.
That one should be on the top of the list of shit
Yeah.
to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guys like that are unbelievable. I don't know if you ever see. We had a bat in our office about a year or two
Yeah.
ago, and we're all there hiding.
She's right
behind-
next to you.
I know. They do hide from me daily.
So we're hiding from this bat. We called this company to get out. That guy came in like it was no big deal. He brought in a tennis racket and was starting to swat the thing, knock the thing out the window, and that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Hey, did he
And
use
then it
a-
came back in the
was
next
it-
day.
Did he use an overhand smash or did he go back in? What do you use on a bat?
Actually, he did both. Whack, whack, and he was
Okay,
out of
both.
there.
Nice,
So.
nice.
Yeah, I would
yeah.
think the
Volley.
snakes would be a priority.
Snakes, yeah, I mean, I don't see a snake running from a tennis racket.
Right, no.
Yeah,
I'm saying, are you kidding me, Tony? Put that away. Put
Well,
that away.
I mean, that seems like you just buy a mongoose.
Just buy a mongoose.
Yeah,
and just
get
let them
yourself
take
a
care of it.
mongoose
Yeah.
and get rid of the snake
know,
that way.
I know, I know.
And then you get a mongoose problem, and then you got to get a wallaby.
It's like
a wallaby. Yeah, they
Explain to me more this Australian.
the wallaby.
information that you
It's
have.
it's the
From
natural.
Australia.
Yes.
You must know about wallabies.
No, I know. I'm just curious
Yeah.
what Tony knows.
he doesn't know anything. He's just making this
I'm-
stuff
Wait a
up.
second. I happen to know that the wallaby is the predator of the mongoose.
Oh.
They don't like
Chrissy,
each
is
other.
Why
that-
do
is
you
that-
know that?
Is
They
that
don't
true?
like each other.
Wow. Well, we don't have mongoose in Australia.
See how good it works?
So I can't refute that, I guess.
And that's what I'm saying.
Tony's saying, I
Why
can't
do you
believe
think
I
know
have
that?
someone from Australia is really going to fact check me. He's sitting right here at this
It's all
point.
right. I had to give a whole zoo presentation the other day.
On wallabies?
On kangaroo, we stopped at the zoo on the way to mate. Now I'm just taking your show over.
That's
Sorry.
all right.
That's
That's all right. We're
right.
just
Yeah.
taking a little rest.
Coming from Australia, it's funny what you take for granted. We walk in and there's in Australia we don't have an Australian section in the zoo because it's just called
all
outside.
Yeah, right.
So
That's your zoo.
yeah, so we're standing there and I was talking and I was listening to people talking about the kangaroos and there's kookaburras and things. I'm like, okay, this is just like being at home. And then they heard my accent and they're like, oh my gosh, they start asking me all these kangaroo questions. So I'm end up doing this whole like zoo presentation. I feel like I should ask
Right,
Tippett
right.
at the end.
Should have Tony there.
Yeah, they're like, oh, are they
But
they're
that-
vicious, aren't they? I'm like, no, no.
That's an
no.
assumption, too, that everyone from Australia knows about kangaroos.
Right.
I'm
It's
yeah.
like we
But
go
do
to.
you,
They're like deer.
Yeah, they just run around.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's like us going to Boston. Do you know everything about Boston and Paul Revere Trail? And
Well, I live on Bunker Hill, as you know.
I do.
And sometimes I yell out my window at people because they're giving bad information about the battle. And
Oh, my God.
My window's open and I'm ground level, I go, wrong. That is wrong.
That is
And you just see
awesome.
people,
That's awesome.
you just people, my wife's going, stop it, don't. I go, I
Turn it
can't.
down.
These people, it's bum information.
Yeah. Some of those tour directors get a little carried
The
away.
duck boats, they must just make up their own stuff.
No,
as they
yeah,
go.
I would imagine. We ban the duck boats they can't go up the monument.
Oh,
So all
I
they
don't
do is
blame
they
them.
drive down the bottom of the street and they can't even stop. They slow down. They go, there's the monument. They keep going.
And there's where Tony V lives.
There's Tony V.
Yeah.
All right, you have a story for the title insurance people. Said about the notary. It's like It's like when I see you guys when you don't remember your own jokes.
Yeah.
I have to
You have to
the
remember.
notary where the I'll give you the punchline.
Thank you.
They came to the door once, said you want to sell.
Oh, right,
Okay.
right.
Yep.
So I read this article written by one of our title insurers, and it was like we talked about this last week.
We did?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
How about the tenants who aren't really the tenants and rent out the property?
Right. Well, they went to sell the property.
There was the guy who went to, he said, you want to sell? And the guy said, yeah. And
Yeah.
then he asked him for
Yes.
his ID, and he didn't
Yeah,
have
see,
it
we did-
because
yeah.
he wasn't the
Oh,
guy.
yeah, we did
Yeah,
that
we
one.
did
We
talk
did
about that.
one. Oh, so we.
All right, goodbye,
All
everybody.
right, thank you.
I guess
So we got
have covered
51
all-
here, and the only ones we've covered is the same one twice.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And we
All right.
learned about kangaroos.
We've
and
apparently
monsters.
run out of real estate information, so
No, we haven't. Give them.
next
Let's
20
talk
minutes,
about time
wallabies.
expectations with your buyers and sellers.
Yeah. So
We gotta do that because this is the biggest problem with closing.
So
First
I'm
of all,
an expert at that, aren't I?
you are the expert at that.
So what I do is I look at my calendar and I know Mr. and Mrs. Smith are closing next month, this coming Monday. So that's really only 4 business days away, and they're probably in their head thinking, what's going on? What are we doing? So I just introduce myself. I don't have any pertinent information for them right now.
Kind of sounds like our show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, but I just say, this is Kathy from Carter Law Office. I just kind of wanted to talk about a couple details of your closing. What would be a good time for you to close? And then they realize that we're all in because we've been doing the back work.
Right.
And if you
But
don't,
they hadn't heard from you up
right.
until this point.
Well, they heard
For
from
what?
Rick way like 45
Right.
days ago. But so
Now
the
it's
point
coming.
is, when they don't hear from us, they get a little bit rattled. And what they may do is call the real estate agent. And then the real estate agent's aggravated with us. Like, why haven't they reached out? So I typically call them a week in advance, tell them what to expect,
Right.
tell them to make plans to get to the bank to either wire money or
Right.
get a bank check, and and tell them what the time frame is so that they can tell
So
their
people
movers.
shouldn't get nervous if they hear from us a lot in the beginning. Now there's a lull because we're doing a lot of work.
We're doing all the back work to make sure
We're
that we
getting
can do
title
a
searches
close.
done.
Yep.
We're
You
doing
should
the
have me
flop-
make that call.
I would love that.
Yeah, you all set for your closing? We're going to need a urine sample and a dozen cannoli. Excuse me? All right, 6 cannoli. I'll let you off.
because of
I'll
my
let you off
urine
the-
sample.
Yeah.
So we also have to manage their expectations because sometimes we have buyers that they're just at this point they're so excited about getting an offer accepted. They're finally at the finish line. They're on steroids. They say, all right, well, I'm selling my house at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, I got my new purchase. At 11 o'clock, I should be able to get my new floors done. 12 o'clock, I'm painting the house.
That sounds like very close.
So very
quarters.
close.
Yeah.
Very close. There's a
And
lot of steps
They're
involved.
actually lucky to be able to sell and buy in the
At the
same
same day,
right?
right.
Because typically there's another transaction that has to happen before they can sell.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
They don't
there's
happen
typically 3 or
simultaneously,
4
right.
parties involved in
Right.
different closings, and the timing of it is tough because we need to record in Middlesex South Registry. We send them in electronically.
Right.
But we could be 100. We could be the 100th person in line.
To do it, right.
Yeah, and I don't wanna knock
and
the employees
sale-
there, but-
right.
And
And
the
sales
sale,
got to go first.
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
the sale's not official until it's recorded.
Yeah, so we
Right.
can't record until the sales official, and then that attorney needs to wire the money to us. So there is some lag time. So we don't typically like to do the back-to-backs. Get your stuff on a moving truck and stay at a hotel.
You know, here's an idea. Why don't all of you people move into the same building?
I like that idea.
You know, have your attorneys, your real estate, your insurance people, the
registry.
Oh, I
recording,
thought you-
the registry, everybody. You get a big building,
Yeah.
and then
Do you know what kind of havoc that would be?
well, you
That's
can have
why-
separate floors.
Chaos. Chaos at best.
Well, what he's saying, it sounds like a
I
little
know.
chaos now. Yeah.
I think I thought he meant all our buyers and sellers move into the same
No,
building,
well,
so they don't
no.
have
Yeah.
to move.
No.
Because a lot of them are still in the pit fighting each other
Sure.
to get out.
To get out. Right. Best idea I ever had.
So, but things
Thunderdome.
have
Thunderdome Realty.
things have really smoothed over. Like we used to
2
have
men
to,
enter, 1 man leave.
Oh my God. I'm trying to keep you kids on track, and it's not working. So I'll see you guys later.
So manage the expectation. So the other thing they got to do is they got to remember about the CD, the new laws on that, the closing disclosures. They got to have those signed 3 days before the closing now, or they won't close, right?
Right, and it's not typically up to the buyer to go seek that information out. Their lender should be in with them saying, next week on Tuesday, you're going to receive an email from us that you need to open and click and review.
Is there a point person for all of this, or should there be a point person?
Well,
for
you know
all
what?
Of this?
We are pretty much the
point
bus driver.
Yeah.
I always call
He's
it my
actually
bus.
got a bus.
Yeah.
He's actually got a bus. I've driven his
He's
bus.
actually
I'm like,
driven
I'm
it.
driving this bus,
Well,
people.
because you told
Don't
me
you tell me what
your
to
bus
do.
driver license,
I
right?
do. I can
All
drive
right.
a
And I kind of have one, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
virtual bus.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you drive the virtual bus.
But
there,
the point is, sometimes I'll say to them, make sure you call your lender and make sure that they have everything they need from you.
Right.
But some people get so nervous. They're like, what do you mean? They should have it. So you try to, ease it into the conversation
Right.
where you don't say, this is all the things you need to do.
So you just did a closing. You had a HELOC done.
I had a HELOC
Now that's
done.
a little different because there was no
Yeah.
figures on there. There's
Yeah.
probably just a couple figures on there, right?
I didn't look.
No, I don't think the HELOC.
Was I supposed to look?
I don't think the HELOC falls under the closing disclosure law.
No. I'm just saying, I was just asking
Here's
in
how
general.
my wife and I decided to consolidate some stuff and
Yeah.
just on a whim, I called the bank and I go, hey, can we take money out of the house? We had a HELOC and it was getting paid down.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, no worries. So we ask them for a
Oh, yeah.
figure and they go, yeah, let me check. And they call me back and they go, you want more?
Oh, yeah.
And I go, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
I mean, give it all to me. Give me all of it,
Well, they have an appraisal database.
Yeah.
And they know
can
what
just
yours
punch-
is worth.
They can punch in the number.
I got a text this morning. The guy, Do you want?
What do you say?
Do you want to know
even more?
Do you want to know how much your house is worth? I go. I know how much my house is worth.
How about when they asked Lenny Clark when he wanted more when he was buying his house in the 80s?
Oh,
yeah.
in California.
Oh,
yeah.
He says, "Do you want?"
Do you know who I am?
Yeah. Threw down. We got to get him on to tell the story. But to make a long story short,
do you have? Right,
they
for-
approved 100% mortgage.
because he was on the cover of
He was
TV
on
Guide.
the cover
Yep.
of TV
Yeah.
Guide. That was his qualification. And then they said, "Do you need any more money for your furniture?"
Hey,
they
yeah,
threw-
Throw that in.
sure, of course.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
And then
Yeah.
he tells the joke about the hookers and the cocaine, and then
And the bank calling saying, "I don't know if we've received your last mortgage payment yet."
of course you did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right, so a lot of things can go wrong. How can we put them all together? So manage their expectations, right?
Yep.
Then the buyer has to be managed because there's still some scrutiny of that buyer right up to closing
Without a
time.
doubt.
So they
They
can't
have
be
to-
going and I know we didn't say this. We probably
We
said
did
it.
say it last
We
week.
did. in the
I know you
podcast.
said it at the.
We did at the podcast.
At the-
We got a lot of
at-
stuff.
at the other-
we're just so
the live
informational.
thing.
I'm not sure
Right.
what information we've told it.
So
what,
you can't
what's
quit your job. You can't quit your job because
right.
they do a income verification
up to the day before.
the
Yep,
day
exactly.
before.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
And they actually sometimes do it after the closing before they sell the loan.
Sure.
Like a week or two after the closing or something like that.
Yep,
I don't know.
yep.
I don't know if I'm right on that, but they also can pull your credit again if they wanted to and see debt, that you've accumulated in the last 45 days
Right.
after you gave them all your information, which may unqualify you to buy that house.
Right. Well, I'm unqualified for a lot of things, so
We both are.
I just assume that from the get-go.
Now-
and
now
if
if-
anybody wants to give me anything, I go, "Oh, thank
that's
you.
nice
That's
of you."
nice of you."
At Fenway Park, you going to do any real estate jokes now that you're an expert?
Maybe
right.
we'll see if we can sell Fenway Park while I'm there.
Virtually, right?
Yeah.
Make
Right.
sure that you get Artie to do the title rundown for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder if we should just list these real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
No.
Or not?
No. So one of the things.
Oh, you want to take your time? Because now we're going to have a part 3 and part 4. Because I
Right.
think we might have taken a little time. But go ahead.
So-
So part of the credit check, we've seen people rack up the Jordan's furniture.
Yep. Or they bought a car
in
with a huge
anticipation
car
of it.
loan. Right.
The other thing too is this is a big problem when they dispute something on their credit card. All of a sudden, things get frozen.
Right.
Because you see, all the bank is seeing there's a dispute on the credit card.
Right.
We've had those before.
So buyers should always check. It's so easy these days. Check your own credit before you put
And
an
how would
offer
you
in.
do that?
It's you go online. It's like
Yeah.
Credit Karma or I don't know. My credit card does it for me.
Oh, okay.
And it'll say there's a decrease in your balance or an
Right.
increase in your balance. Like they track it for
Are there
me.
any scam sites people should be watching out for to check your credit?
I know a real good site to check your
Oh
credit
yeah.
score.
Well, there's our own site that we're gonna get up and running.
Oh, is this the
yeah,
one?
Yeah,
Well-
I'll go FICO yourself. Yeah,
It's catchy.
yeah.
Go FICO.
You remember it, right?
Go FICO yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
You
go
didn't even
there.
remember that. You're just leading us down there.
No. That's what.
Okay.
No, I
all right.
had something new, but go ahead. I'll go back to old chestnut. I'm no stranger to that.
We keep ruining his jokes. He's a professional comedian, and we just keep taking him offline.
Whoa,
There's a-
whoa. Is there a
Says we-
certificate?
There's a-
I do.
There's a
Yeah.
reason I'm not going to be on stage that night introducing Tony.
I might be.
Yeah.
All right, so quickly, credit cards, they got to be careful of those.
Yep.
Can't rack that up. You really got to talk to your lender. all
Oh,
right?
and the other
You're going
one-
to get coached by that lender and say, what's my latitude here? You know,
Well, I didn't want to buy a TV because I was afraid to spend even take it out of my savings account or my credit
So
card.
any-
I just called it.
well, that's what I mean.
Any
You
change?
just call them up.
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
Yeah.
you talk to the lender. I mean, you might not be on the cusp. $1,000 TV might be okay.
No, I
Right.
know, but that's how nervous I
I mean,
was
your
from
your credit, you're going from week to week. You're going to get, I'm kidding you. Hers is in the 800s.
833
What's
as
a
of
good?
this morning.
What's a good credit score?
Anything over-
833.
No, that's the
No,
best.
anything over 750,
Yeah.
probably,
Kathy,
right?
I wouldn't think you'd have anything less
Less
than
than
stellar.
that. I know.
Yeah.
I'm going for the 850.
Is that the highest you can go?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never seen an 850. I haven't.
I'm like,
She's gonna do
I'm
it.
like
I know.
18 points away.
Is
I
it
know.
like a batting average? Is that how they
if you-
calculate it?
yeah,
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. More slip ups you have.
Yeah.
The average goes down a
So
little.
there's one other thing that, if we're running out of time is when you're a buyer and you give your tax returns, they give you a whole laundry list of stuff. And they're not making that stuff up. If they want your tax returns, they want these years of your tax returns. If they want the last 2 months of your pay stubs, you can't just give them like last week's and then 6 months goes. They want what they want because that's
Right.
how they approve
Well,
you.
I ran into that.
Right.
Because I'm self-employed, and
Right.
they needed to verify some sort of
Something,
Income,
something
right.
other than those checks coming from across the ocean.
right for 32 cents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could send them a stack of $1.89 checks, but I don't think that's what they're looking for.
But the
you know?
other thing that we find is that people say, they'll say, we're looking for this, and the buyer will say, I've already given it to them. It doesn't matter. They're asking again.
Just do what they say.
Don't be aggravated because they may have, it's a paper mill, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they may have lost it or
Yeah.
whatever. So you need to stay the course because ultimately it's your prize.
We
at
had
the
one of
end.
our comedian friends refinance, and he was so aggravated. They said, "Can you send in a statement?" Yes, I can. He sends in 11 of the 12 pages because the 12th page
Is blank,
Is
but-
blank.
It's blank.
They said, and I know what they're saying.
Right.
There might have been more information on there. He could not
Get that
through
concept.
He couldn't
He
He
says,
could-
"Well, it's blank. It's blank." Well, we don't know it's
It
blank.
says
Well, it's-
11 of 12, so whatever's on that 12th
They
page, you
need the
better
12th
send in
page.
the 12th
Right,
page.
right.
So my advice to our buyers, first-time home buyers and veteran, you just have to stay on top of that paper trail and make sure you send in the bank what they want in a very timely fashion.
Yeah, I mean, it does get aggravating because
It's wicked aggravating.
Because when we started this process, the first phone call is yes, anything. Oh, I think this. Blah blah blah. Just send us this, and you send it, and they go, oh, we need one more piece
Yeah.
of paper.
Yeah.
You go, okay. Oh, we need this
Yeah.
piece of paper. Oh, we need to contact these people. Okay, and then
Right.
and you just
Well,
go.
what happens? That one piece of information
Leads
might
to
spark
other.
something else
Something
that they're
else.
thinking about.
Right.
So
But
I'll,
the other thing is the loan officer takes all the information and dumps it off at the underwriter, who's a completely different entity in that
Right.
lender. So this guy could do his job 100%, but now she's looking at it and saying, are they the same people that lived in Lawrence in 1989? Or, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. So
they're
there's
cr-
more information.
Yes.
The more information you give, the more information there is.
So related to that, the biggest mistake a buyer makes is, first of all, ignoring their commitment financing date.
Yeah.
So your financing date might be June 21st.
Yes.
And if you don't have your financing date, but your mortgage commitment by that date, you have to notify the seller, okay? Because that preserves your deposit money.
I see.
If you blow through that. So here's the biggest problem, though. Someone gets their commitment letter, and they say, "Oh, so I'm all set. I got my commitment letter." We had this one time where on the commitment letter it said, "Mrs. Smith, you got to send in this statement from the bank." She goes, "All right, I'll let my commitment date expire." But the lender was really trying to see if she was really getting the child support that she had suggested.
Oh,
So
the alimony. Wasn't it alimony?
Because that counts as income.
right, so June 25th.
Well, you know what happened to her?
She almost lost her deposit money.
Well, and it didn't close because they
Right.
couldn't approve her because
Right.
she said that her husband paid her $2,000, or ex-husband, $2,000 a month.
Month.
Well, June he paid her $2,000. August he paid her nothing, or July. August he paid her $2,000. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was sporadic.
Sporadic, right.
So they couldn't approve her based on that $2,000
As
a
a
month.
month, right.
So if you learn anything out of the show,
You need a good real estate attorney.
exactly.
That's
Thank you.
awesome,
Yeah.
Tony.
And for my money, I would go to Carter Law.
Do they have a phone
Best-
number?
They do. It's 781
944 9222.
Did we used to have a jingle on that?
I think we did.
It was my 9222.
So didn't we say we're going to have Tony give us the final tips of the day?
Yeah.
We'll
Let's
try
hear him,
that.
Tony. He just did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
his
but
tip.
I
That
think
was
the
my
other
call
really
time.
good one is there's no mongoose in Australia. 'Cause
There's no mongoose because
of
the
the
wallabies are keeping them out.
That's just a
You're,
fun
you're saying, I can't
non-real
believe
estate
I was
fact.
giving Australian tips that no one would ever check me on.
And, you know,
Yeah.
and there she is.
And,
right
and
there.
yet
she is.
I was trying to defute and I somehow corroborated.
Yeah.
He's that
Yeah,
good.
Tony
Tony
I
does
know
that.
what I'm
Is
talking
this
about.
true?
Yeah.
Well, there are no mongoose in Australia.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the mongoose boat shows
Did
up
anyone-
and they go, "You
did
got
anyone-
wallabies here?" And they go, "Yeah." And they go, "Get it."
Did anybody fact check that? Did you fact check it?
Well, no, we have it
I
right
know
here.
factually there are
No,
no,
no.
mongoose in
She
Australia.
knows
She
yes.
knows
fact.
it. She knows
Where
it.
do the mongoose live?
Not in Australia.
Right.
Africa,
Africa, I think they have some.
India.
Yeah, that woman's basement with all the snakes.
Woburn.
Woburn. How do you not? You buy a house and nobody mentions fucking
That the-
snakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, by the way,
Oh, by the way,
We have a family of 25 snakes living in the
did we
basement.
tell you about this there, Sal? Thanks
Oh
for
my
joining us here on the
do you
Real
have
Estate
water?
Hotline.
Do you
It's
have
just
water
been
in the
exhausting.
basement? Only for the snakes.
Only a little bit. Woo, I'm
We'll
tired.
see you next week at the Real Estate House Party. Thank you, Kathy Holtshouser and Tony
Hey.
B.
Oh, My pleasure.
That was a lot.
Yeah. I need a nap.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.